Well, before we start, I'm going to get a beer because I know I'm going to drink the rest of this one.
You got another one in there?
Yeah.
I'll take another one back here. I'm about to
12-pack
finish
only
this
came with two.
Well, look, and that's all the beers.
Glad I got here when I did.
Hey, what's surprising is Steven cracked one open first.
Oh, shit.
I was drinking an energy drink, and he's like, yeah.
I should have brought my 18 Jameson.
Well,
I gotta get my kids.
Yeah. You gotta be responsible. That's why you only get one beer.
True.
That's why you can only take one kid.
That's why I have water, too. So
Right.
I get way too drunk on this beer.
I mean, I got
4%.
water over there for when I'm done with my beers.
Want for having some conversation with Steven and Twan. Questioning the whole universe and history of man. Saturday on Sunday, we're gonna make it through. Speak out, It's a Saturday on Sunday.
No, I'm just acting like a seal. Welcome back to the Saturday on Sunday podcast. We wear large shirts.
All of us.
All three.
Oh, fuck.
I'm Steven.
I'm Twan.
Now I'm Jake.
That's not cool. You can put us on black. No,
At least he didn't say we all wear three
it's funny.
X's.
Like a year ago or something like that. Maybe a little bit more than a year ago, I wore like a medium.
Yeah.
And I found one of my shirts that was a medium shirt. And I put it on because I was like, it was like a year ago. Yeah, a lot changes in a year.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, good God, what is happening right now? Yeah.
I mean, the times are changing.
You ever tried to, those mattresses that you get that like you cut it open and then it deflates, like opens up into a fucking full
right.
mattress
Oh,
that come
yeah.
in a little box?
Bed in the box, yeah.
Yeah.
Bed
Me
in a
putting
box.
that medium shirt on was trying to stick that mattress back into the box.
Oh, right. Oh,
You
yeah.
It's
need
like,
a
damn.
vacuum sealer.
Yeah,
It
if I just
compresses.
they call that liposuction.
I mean,
Exactly.
I went pretty quickly from like a medium-sized shirt to like an extra large and extra large. So being back down to a large, I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
fine with
it's
a
not
large.
bad. I mean, and especially compared to like what we were in like high school and middle
Right.
school and stuff like that. Like we've talked about it before. We were not the little kids in
Oh,
school.
right.
Like
For
No.
sure.
that's not how that worked out. So like as an adult, I'm fitting into a large. I'm like, that's respectable. I'm supposed to fit into a large.
And I feel like I'm average size because I can never find pants in my size.
Oh
Right?
no!
Typically can't find underwear in my size.
What size pants do you wear?
A 34, 30.
Okay, so I wear a 34, 32.
Yeah.
I got a couple inches.
I have short
Brag
legs.
about it.
But the problem with
Like
that
if I
is-
can get like a 33, 29, like that would be
Perfect.
pristine.
I mean, I would wear the exact same
But what
size.
sucks is when I go to like any store
Yeah.
ever, I find 36s
Yep.
or 32s.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
The other day I found a pair of 35s and I tried them and they're too big as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
But I'm just like, damn it, like,
Right.
dude, I thought it was because it was an unpopular thing and they just didn't have them. But it's like it's too popular.
Right.
Like
for
34
sure.
is what everybody has.
Like
so
everybody.
they're gone.
Like, and it's like then David tries to give us pants,
Right.
and it's like we don't want your fat boy pants. Get outta
He's like,
here.
what size you guys wear? And we're both like 34. He's like, fuck you guys.
Right.
What's he in? 38?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, something
I think
like that.
so.
Yeah, dude. He
But I mean-
working on it.
The thing is, it's like it's not that I'm like any thinner. It's just like my waist is thinner.
Yeah.
Like I still got a belly.
Yeah,
I just don't have
I
an
got
ass.
that
Me too.
gut.
That's why I told my wife, I was like, I wear 34s, and I'm not any thinner than most of my 36 counterparts. But I was like, I have no butt, no nothing. It's
Oh,
like my
yeah.
hips and everything. Just, whoop,
You
nothing.
got the
Oh,
Hank
right.
Hill ass.
Yeah.
It's like got that
I got to hit my squats.
stereotypical white guy booty.
Right.
Yeah.
There is
Oh.
none.
I did a squat once,
Oh yeah.
and I was like,
You threw out your
"Now I'm
back.
good."
Like I saw a quarter on the ground and I had to pick it up.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to get back up? I was like, nope.
Not even worth it.
People do this recreationally.
Right. for fun.
Oh, no way.
I mean, I don't need any kind of like Kim K, J-Lo booty.
I've been, I really
Yeah,
want
you
to.
do.
I want to get
Maybe.
into, like, all my friends now that are, well, a lot of them, you know, pushing in their mid-30s and stuff like that, are starting to, like, really, like, work out and, like, treat their bodies right. And, you know, I see all their diet stuff on Facebook, and I see them doing, like, you know, always in the gym and lifting and cardio, and
Who's got
they're
the
showing the
time?
vitamins that they're using and these protein shakes and all this bullshit, and they're starting to look good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm jealous of most of the male friends that post this stuff. Their bodies are like sculpting their arms and like getting cut from middle. Like the male side of the thing, they're getting ready for that, like what you would call hot grandpa status. You know, gray hair but muscular, wearing like those tight button-up shirts. And I'm still over here like having a bottle of Yingling and eating Taco Bell last night at 2 a.m.
You're living the best life.
Damn it.
Right. Like the thing is that's not a priority.
For sure.
Like the thing is, like those people make it a priority, and it's like I'm not living that lifestyle. Like I just want to not be dead tomorrow. Like
Right.
if that could happen, that's cool.
But like the fucked up thing is, it's like realistically, that's what they're preparing for too.
Right.
You know, they're changing into a healthy alternative, and like most of them have quit smoking, and I'm just like, yo, like you guys, like they have it figured out. They're putting their money into their like actual life's 401k. You know, they're making sure like they're getting that cholesterol down and doing all that. And I'm like, I'm gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's not right now.
Right.
Yeah, see, I already cashed mine out, so it's going to be a while before that rebuilds.
Yeah, so like we don't have the equity right now.
Yeah.
And like I'm proud of all them, everybody who's out there doing that. I'm proud of them for doing that, because I mean, once you ever sat there and thought about it, like, you know, at any given moment, you don't think about it all the time, but when you really sit down and think about it, like any moment you could just die.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about that all the time.
And yeah, and people do, but like when I'm talking, like, you know, those feelings when you like literally think about it.
Yeah.
Like it actually starts to scare you because you're thinking about it. And it's like, you know, these people are doing this stuff to stop that from happening.
But
and
it's no guarantee.
Right, but there's no guarantee. But it's like anything that you could stop it being your fault is better. You know, like. And that's what sucks, and that's why I like pride them in doing this, because most of the shit that we do is just because it's easier.
Yeah.
You know, like I eat the way I do because it's easier.
Right.
And we talked about this fucking first season. You know, like Hot Pockets and fucking pizza rolls and stuff because they're easy to make. And I'm like, I pride you guys. You guys are doing fucking. You guys are rock stars. We're not yet. We're like the rock stars.
I mean, you know.
We're like the rock stars in the back room, like binging on fucking cocaine. You know, not doing
like,
healthy.
I was thinking of trying to think of an aged out rocker to compare to, but then I was like, I don't want to say any rocker name and have it be like fucking canceled. That person did a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Marilyn Manson. We can't be fans of Marilyn Manson anymore. He was molesting people.
Did you see that that whole thing with
But Ozzy Osbourne probably.
but he's still alive.
Right.
I don't know what he's doing, but that's got to be some kind of cult, demonic, like sacrificing shit.
Yeah.
The devil's like, yo, I can't promise that you'll be able to walk or talk for a long time, but I can keep you alive.
Right. You can sing great. People understand what you're saying when you're singing, but talking, voice,
nobody will know what you're saying, and you'll barely able, like, walking to the mic, it takes him 45 minutes.
Right, just shambling along.
His engineer's like,
oh, yeah. I mean, you know.
He's going to get here.
Like, you can stay around and put out songs with Post Malone. And
yeah.
No, he put out Elton John's on one of those songs on his new album.
Yeah.
He's getting it. I'm going to age like a Ozzy Osbourne.
I know that I'm getting older.
Far less drugs.
I know that I'm getting older in life because I'm like, I was on Facebook, and you know, you scroll through Facebook and you find videos, and you know how like you get stuck in that loop of like watching a video and then watching all the videos that follow it, and you just you get stuck in that loop. Everybody's done it.
I've fallen asleep doing that.
Me
it's
too. Like just holding it in your hand. And
I'm
just
old.
Like, but I got stuck into like watching probably about 2 hours worth of just like Pawn Stars clips.
Right.
Like, and just watching
I get caught up on that on YouTube.
And like, you know, you do the thing where like, you know, the person comes in, they show what they have, they say what they want, then they bring the expert in, the expert tells them what it's worth, and then you try to guess what Rick's going to offer them.
Right.
You know, and
sure.
My wife and I do that all the time. Like, I'm like, $3,500. This thing's worth like $18,000. I'm like, he's going to offer 35, and she says, oh, $6,000. And we try to see who was closer.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what I'm stuck in. And I'm like, so now I know I'm old. Like, I'm sitting here watching like just clips of Pawn Stars.
Right. Not even whole episodes.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I was stuck in that. It's like I click on a video on YouTube, and it's just like top 10 illegal things brought to Pawn Stars, and I'm like, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
And then it went to another video of most expensive things. And
you know how they get you too, with those video loops that you get stuck in, is what they'll do is while your video's playing, you know, you can see the top of the next video.
Oh,
well, it'll be one that you really want to watch, so you're going to finish that, and that's really interesting. It's got a huge clickbaity name. You want to watch it.
Right.
Well, what happens is once you finish that episode, it drops that one that you want to watch one down and starts another one. So it's still sitting there, and you get stuck in that loop trying to catch that video. You could just scroll down to it and watch it, but you still want to see what happens in this video, and it just keeps going. And you're like, eventually I'm going to get to that last video.
Oh, yeah. That's how it is on YouTube, because it will put up that playlist at the end of the video of what's coming up in that playlist. You're like, oh, well, 3 videos down is something that I want to see, but I'll just watch these other ones. Just
what saves me from
I wanted to watch them.
The reason why I don't get stuck in YouTube so often is the YouTube videos. Is what saves that is when they have one of those like 2-hour fucking ads.
Oh yeah.
And then you just get out of the whole thing.
Like,
if it's too long, like I won't even like skip to the video. I'll just like get out of the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
like,
but
that's it.
now they're putting ads at the end of the video, like the video's over.
So you think,
and then it's like, is there more video?
You think there's more video, and you watch the whole ad because there's no skip option, and then it's just the end of the video.
It's just like, thanks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man.
They just be throwing ads everywhere.
It's like,
now.
if you guys see an ad on this video, because I just got an email saying that they can put on ads on anything that they want. Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, because if you see an ad, just know that
we ain't getting paid for
there's
that.
nothing happening there.
So we're not affiliated at all with any ads that may come beginning, middle, or end of this video.
Should I drop a negative review on a company? I should. I should give a PSA.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys about my stupidity.
Yeah.
I fucked up big time yesterday. So, and you guys will know what I'm talking about and immediately judge me for what I'm about to say. But trust me, I thought it was legit.
Okay.
So, yesterday we're sitting at home and a guy knocks on the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, he's a door-to-door salesman. He's a meat salesman out of a truck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, you guys know these guys, and
Yep.
everybody knows 100% you don't buy meat off the back of a truck. Because we've all seen them. They're at the gas station. They're in like a beat-up like Ford Ranger pickup truck with like a inverter plugged into their chest freezer. And we know that's bad meat.
Right.
You know you don't want that. So he's giving me the spiel and he's talking. Well, they pull up in a nice truck. It's got pictures on the side. It's like professional. It's not.
Okay.
It's not just like a pickup truck with it. It's like.
I think I know the exact company because
Fat Daddies.
Okay,
And I'm going to put them out there because it's Fat Daddies. Now, they're talking to me and they're giving me their spiel and they're showing me everything. So while he's talking to me, I get on Google and I Google the company.
Okay.
You know, just to make sure it's a legit company and that this is real and everything's good. So I look it up, and they have an actual storefront in Massillon.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, there's a storefront that you can physically go to and purchase singular steaks or whatever you want to from them. So I'm thinking, okay, they got to be decent because the storefront wouldn't last very long if it was just shit and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? We need meats in the house anyways. Let me go ahead and give this a try. I'm just going to buy. It was a buy one, get one free deal, which I don't know. It's probably bullshit on that too, but whatever. I bought it. I suckered in and I bought a box.
Yeah.
And I bought the prime steak box, not the generic. He was like, this one's better. And I was like, okay. You seem legit. They didn't look like crackheads. They looked like upstanding people.
I was interested in them.
Yeah, so I went there. First thing I did, I bought the steaks. He took off. He gave me his private number, like his personal cell phone number, which is another thing. I called the number when he said lock me in. I did the thing where you call just to make sure he's giving me his number,
right? And
not just like if I call him, there's no answer. It's not a real number.
Right.
It rings his phone. So I'm like, okay, there's no way he's giving me his number. There's a personal thing, and like, because like I'm not going to be a return customer, and you wouldn't want me. So.
Like I could be blowing up this guy's phone with all kinds of threats.
So I'm thinking real legit, Yeah. So the first thing I did, we take the steaks inside. We have a chest freezer, put everything in there. I pulled out 2 strip steaks.
Yeah.
Thawed them out. I'm gonna make these tonight to find out. I didn't end up making them just because of how shit the steak actually like appeared in the thawing process. I mean, it's just like, a strip steak, thin, nice, stays in its form. That's the steak. Dude, I thawed these things out. They went flat as all hell. They're just like floppy, like they're about this big, probably about this big wide. Like, but in the package, they look formed like a strip steak.
Oh, okay.
You can feel it, like if you push down on the steak from inside the package, it's just all gristly, fat, tendon meat. I don't know what part of the cut it is or what, but it's just god awful. So I didn't even try to, I didn't even cook it, but I did throw them in like a marinade.
Yeah.
And they're sitting in my refrigerator now. I figured I'm going to do a 24-hour marinade and just try to cook these things and see if I can make them any different. But then I hear these, I look them up. I get real into detail because I looked up and there's so many, comments on their Facebooks are once they're bad, they delete them, which people do if there's bad ones. Yeah. But you get onto Google, you can't really hide those ones. They're going to be bad. But what they do is there's these, what seem to be phony 5-star reviews,
Oh, right.
They're just
the best.
And they're put out as they seem more like an ad than a review,
right?
And then I start getting down to the 1 stars, and every one of them's like, "Yo, not good cuts, gristly, this and that," and it was just bad. So I'm still gonna try to cook it, and people are like, "Don't even eat it." They've thawed these, refroze them, refroze them, they'll kill you, and I'm like, well, I can't see them being bad enough to kill you, and they still have an operating store. Right. I get them being low grade cuts and not the meat that you expected, not quality cuts or anything like that.
Right.
But I'm as far as death, and getting super sick, I don't see them having. But maybe I don't know. But I'm gonna try it. But then I did read reviews because they got a whole chicken box of pre-marinated breasts.
Oh,
and all
right.
that.
That's what
people
were
said.
Looking at.
People said that's not that bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't thawed any out, but people are like, it's chicken. It's not really
right.
You cut a breast off, throw it in there. It's not horrible, but the steaks are not what they appear to be. And after doing that, I was like, okay, I thawed those out. I'm like, God, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
And I spent fucking way too much money on getting it.
It's like they set it up a pretty good deal. Because we've looked into it, or Jen was looking into it and stuff, didn't dig deep in as far as reviews or anything like that. But it's it all seemed legit, and we were thinking about, putting money together with other people to be we can get this big box and everybody can have a little bit of it or whatever.
What were you interested in trying? The chicken or
chicken, yeah.
So don't go to this. But if you want, I can give you a box of chicken.
Yeah.
I have multiple boxes of breast, and I'll give it to you for $49.
Yeah.
No, I'll just give you one if you guys want to try it.
Okay.
See what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it too, but there's different ones. They're
oh yeah.
There's plain chicken breast and then multiple marinades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was just whatever. Now I know.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously people are gonna come for me, and I know it. They're gonna hit me in my inbox. I get it. There are actual butchers out here that you can buy meat packs from.
Right.
But it just seemed, the way they presented it. Because, like I said, we all know those ones that just sell, you could tell physically, that's probably not even from a cow at all.
Right.
And we know to steer away from that. We've lived in a neighborhood long enough. Yeah. But the way these people, there's a lot of money put into this presentation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot. It's not just a cut right brown box, here's some steak kind of. It's really well done. And they had shit that they would offer, like alligator flanks and buffalo steaks and stuff like that. So like they were offering tomahawk steaks and shit like that. So it just seemed a lot more legit.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, well, I got duped.
Right.
Shenanigans.
Like, I don't know. I don't trust any kind of meat salesman.
They go door to door.
They go door to door.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything that's going door to door, it's just like,
Yeah.
Obviously you're not that good of a product that you have to go door to door to try to. It's like, here, I have to put this right in front of your face.
He straight up, like, he said that, like, he said the reason why we're doing this is so many people, don't want to come out to grocery stores or come out to, and he played the COVID card. That
Of
made
course.
sense. And that, like, everything linked together to being like, this might be legit.
Right.
And like I said, I can physically go to a storefront. These other people, they won't tell you where they're from, where the meat came from, like whatever. They're just, I got meat in this fucking chest freezer that I plugged into my Ford F-150. Do you want it?
Oh, yeah.
And we know to stay away from them. And obviously I know that. But like this seemed like everything lined up.
Right.
Like I said, he's giving me a spiel, and I'm on Google looking. Like, is this a legit company?
Oh, yeah.
Where are they from? Like, the boxes are all labeled, all is Ohio. They said that all the meat comes from New Franklin, which, is really close to us. And, and I was like, yeah. And it very well might come from, but they were, like, buying whatever, like, these people can't sell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, we got a bunch of cuts that we can't sell. Do you guys want it? And that's what they're doing. I think. I don't know.
Right. If
anybody's ever had a good experience with them, leave it in the comments, because, like, as of right now, the steaks that I have tried to feel out look god-awful. Like, I'm afraid to eat it, but I'm going to try it.
As long as it didn't smell bad when you popped it open.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't smell like a fresh fart or nothing.
Right.
So it smelled like meat.
Or nothing.
Well, Julia was like, oh, it's like purpley and not red. And I was like, the red is because it's been sitting in breathable oxygen at a store, keeps it red. I said if you vacuum seal it right from the cut, it tends to be more of a purplish color than a red color. And I was like, so that's not bad. You know, you'll see like high quality meats that look purple because they've been sealed right from cut. So I was like, that if they were like brown, maybe not. Bright red just means they've been exposed to air, which is usually happens when a grocery store just wraps it in saran wrap on a fucking styrofoam tray. Right. So I was like, that's not bad. I said, that's not what I'm worried about. If I cut it and it smelled rancid, that's a problem. But when your strip steak deforms from its shape and becomes a flat piece of like random meat, you're like, well, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
I'm going to try to eat it and see what happens. Maybe I'll die. Maybe I won't die. Maybe it'll taste good, but it's bad cuts. I don't know, but I did it, so it's there.
Me and Jen had a conversation recently about not eating meat.
Like at all? Like any meat?
Like trying, not like we're going to try to do it or anything like that, but just the idea of just not eating meat.
Right.
And how much of a struggle it would be. And I feel like
it's not as hard as you think it would be.
Certain things, like I know people love steak and all that, and steak is not on my top tier meat. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
like, steak's good. You know, you get a good steak, that's good. But, like, in general, I could do without steak. But, like, other beef things, like, I love cheeseburgers.
Right.
Like, I can't give up cheeseburgers.
Right. I mean, I'd take a quality cheeseburger over, like, someone making a shit steak for me.
Right. Like,
you want me to make you a steak?
Anytime I go out to a restaurant, like, if they have cheeseburgers on the menu,
I'm gonna try that burger.
Especially if it's like a fancy cheeseburger, like basically anything that's not just tomato, lettuce, and onions and whatever.
Right.
Like, if it's a fancy thing, like, hell yeah, I'm gonna have your quesadilla cheeseburger or your Southwest cheeseburger. Like,
dude, you gotta go to this place over by Summit Mall. They have called a bistro burger. It's got caramelized onions, pickled red onions, goat cheese, and a bunch of other stuff on it. It's fucking great.
That sounds like my shit.
It's fucking great.
But, like, as far as, like, but other things like pork products, it's like there's only certain cuts or ways
Bacon.
that they're prepared
Yeah,
that
that's-
would be hard to give up. Like I could give
bacon.
up sliced ham,
Bacon.
but I don't think I could give up bacon.
Bacon's so good.
But
Right.
bacon's not like I could probably give up bacon.
Like forever.
Like, yeah, I mean, I could probably give up bacon forever.
If I had
Until
to
you
keep
smell
one,
it.
if I had to keep one meat in the world, and you were only allowed to have one cut of one kind of meat, it would probably just be bacon.
It'd be bacon.
But the
for
thing
me.
is, like,
Bacon jerky.
bacon,
Oh,
in my mind, there's a certain window of where bacon is good. Like, it could be overcooked or undercooked, and then it's like, I don't want that
I
at
only
all.
think that bacon can be undercooked.
it
that's
can be
it.
overcooked.
I don't think bacon
Trust
can be
me.
overcooked.
I mean,
It can
I
be
don't
overcooked.
want the bacon to be as black as the bill of our house.
No, you can burn bacon till it
Oh,
literally turns into a fine powder,
And then
I
it
would
just tastes like
eat that.
carcinogens.
Then I would scoop up that bacon powder, throw it in some milk, protein shake,
Gross.
bacon.
That's pretty gross. I mean, I was gonna say like sprinkle it on popcorn or something.
I would just, no matter what, I don't think bacon can be overcooked. It can definitely. If I could
I
hold a
don't
piece
like-
of bacon out and it doesn't stay completely straight and it flops over, I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's undercooked. I don't want that floppy bacon stuff.
But I feel like
Right.
there's just a.
I don't, it's new computer. It's got all those things that pop up.
But like bacon has too much hype. Like I think
It doesn't have enough hype.
like no. Like sorry.
Ask my brother. He'll sit there and make like a 10-pound thing of bacon and then put it in a giant Ziploc bag, and we'll sit in his garage just eating slices of bacon out of a big ass
That's
bag.
disgusting.
Oh, it's the
But
best.
it's just like out of all the animals, I think that I could give up eating pigs just because like the stigma about how intelligent they are.
I could stop eating quail.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Like I don't think I've ever eaten quail,
Me
so I
neither.
think it's easy to give up. Or ostrich, I could give up ostrich any
You're
day.
telling me you don't want 2 over easy ostrich eggs?
Like I could totally give
Two
up,
of them? Christ.
but I mean honestly, I could give up cold turkey. Like no,
I don't eat turkey at all. I hate
like,
turkey.
Turkey, like
I only eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
I don't even eat it then.
like turkey is one of those things that I like to burn the shit out of and eat. Like that's good. Like if you know
So-
get
well,
a
you
nice-
have to eat turkey. You have to make it unrecognizable.
right.
I hate turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it so much.
Right. But
So,
it's like,
if you can make your turkey not taste like a turkey, good with
oh
me.
yeah, like
Yeah, but I don't agree with turkey bacon.
right.
No,
That's not
hell
bacon.
no.
That's not bacon.
I don't like regular turkey, and so I don't want you to turn it into bacon for
Right.
me.
Right.
It's like stop pretending to be something different. Just
Like
go
turkey
away.
just tries to be other meats, and it's like, no, you're turkey. You're gross. Get out of
Like,
here.
Get
someone's like, "Hey, you want a turkey burger?" I'm
Like-
no,
And if you really
No.
love turkey and you're watching this,
fuck
I
off.
probably don't like you.
I mean, I can't say that I don't eat turkey. Like, I like
You eat turkey byproducts that are mixed into other things like Lunchables.
like Jen makes a turkey chili. That's pretty good.
No,
Is that
just,
cold turkey?
just put beef in.
It's not cold turkey.
Uh,
I don't,
It's-
I'm not,
it's a
I'm
chili
not on that.
turkey.
It's a chili.
It's
It's
just
chili.
Just chili.
It's just,
It's
a chili
hot
turkey.
in chili.
Yeah, no. I can fuck all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably become a vegetarian full on
Yeah.
as long as I could still eat meat.
Right. I mean, but like, I think that if there were to be some all of a sudden shortage of meat and meat wasn't being produced as abundantly as it is now, like, I wouldn't be upset. I'd find other ways.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, well, now they got
Me
the
and-
Impossible Burgers and stuff. It'd be
Right.
good.
see, that's another thing that I don't agree with.
Have you tried that?
They're not
Why?
bad.
Why? Why don't I just eat a regular cheeseburger?
Well, some people
Like-
are
I mean,
vegetarian.
they're
Yeah, but
they're
why do they
just
need a
as bad for
cheeseburger?
you.
Like-
They are just as bad for you. Like actually looking at the ingredients and everything that's in it, you might as well
But
eat a
the-
regular burger.
But the
you're not eating
idea
meat.
is eating meat. And they're vegetarians and they don't eat meat. Why would the idea and the enjoyment of eating meat
Well, it's their
when it's not meat.
It's just their
what's the
argument.
point?
It's their argument to the fact that you don't need to eat meat because we can make plants taste like what you want without
Yeah.
killing anything. Those poor plants.
Right, I was gonna say they killed a lot of plants. For
Like
it.
plants are
People too.
people too.
I
They're
don't know.
cold, you're cold.
I have wanted to try one, just
Yeah.
to see if.
Like I just don't. I don't believe the hype.
Uh,
And I mean, I'm not gonna go out and try it because I'll just eat
Because
a
you
regular.
might like it.
Like, there's no point in buying it when the option of a cheeseburger
See,
is there.
when I tried it, we were out at a bar. Sarah ordered the Impossible Burger. I ordered a patty melt with actual beef on it. And I
Right.
just took a bite of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
but like you don't just want to at least see what if it's the same.
No,
Like,
like
why-
I said,
I
it
don't
was pretty
need to-
good.
Like,
Like the texture was right. Like the flavor was right.
that's all I need. Cool.
Yeah, but you might
made
think
a
completely different.
Right.
like, but why do why would I choose that over picking a regular cheeseburger?
I don't know. Sometimes you
I
just
mean,
gotta figure it
if-
out, try it
Yeah.
out, see what's happening.
Like we just
But-
said, if there is
like, what
an
if you
actual meat shortage, that is
Right.
like your
Yeah,
next
that
best
is the
option.
next best thing.
Yeah.
So if there
so
wasn't,
when that happens,
because you
sure.
might try it and go, "This is impossible."
right? I mean, I don't need
who
it.
knows?
I don't need that kind of
Negative energy.
revelation in my life.
You're like,
Like I could be eating plant burgers this whole time.
We need to invite him to a barbecue and just like sneak in Impossible patties and just not tell him.
Yeah, but the
I
thing
mean-
would be, like,
These are green. I know they're plants.
it's like
This one still has a leaf in it.
right, like
We weren't sure how to make it ourselves. We didn't want to pay for
This
the
is
real
out of my
thing.
yard.
I'm like, this is impossible. Like, no, that's dog shit. We cooked it.
Cruelty free.
Right. Like the thing is, it's like you could do that and go out and buy the Impossible Burger patties and make it in a barbecue and tell me after the fact, like, oh, that was an Impossible Burger. And what I'm going to say is, cool.
You're gonna say,
I'm like, wow, that tasted like a cheeseburger. Good one, guys.
"You got me." Yeah,
Cool.
you got me.
I'm nice and full and happy.
Oh, it's like, wow, that really tasted like a cheeseburger. You guys really knew it.
And we went so hippie with it that we also put 2 tabs inside the burger.
Right. It's like, wow.
It's really gonna be impossible for you here in a second.
Right. Like, that, like, I don't know. I don't see the appeal not being a vegetarian and having cheeseburgers readily available.
Yeah.
Like, I've eaten fake burgers. That's all they served in high school.
The
Soy
soy-
burgers.
The soy patties.
Yeah, I don't know what those were.
Yeah.
Like, they-
Protein.
Soy,
Pucks.
but like I don't know what they. I think they just like watered down the cardboard that they came in a little bit, cut circles out of them,
Oh,
threw
yeah.
them on some bread, whatever.
Right.
You know, okay, so you guys have known Goldfish, right? The snack that smiles back,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know they have plenty now of flavors.
Oh, right.
You know, they got all kinds of them. They got the ones that are slightly overcooked, and they got just a plethora of them.
Right.
Have you guys heard of the Tabasco flavored ones?
No.
No.
They're just Tabasco flavored. They're just like cheese and Tabasco sauce.
Oh.
You know, and I've never tried them.
Yeah.
My kids have,
Yeah, did
but
they
I
like
haven't. I guess so.
'em? Yeah.
But like, I couldn't stop them from eating them, and it was a terrible, terrible situation.
Oh,
So this was where I was at Goodwill, and we were out there, and this woman comes out, and my kids are like running, and I'm trying to get them all together. We're outside, and then she comes out, and she looks like she's been through a lot in her life.
yeah.
Like she's about 2 or 3 years off of being Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Like she looks like she's been through some things.
Yeah.
And she's so nice. She comes out, oh, kids, blah, blah, blah. But she has this bag of, like, Tabasco goldfish.
Oh.
And my kids just automatically being pure innocent kids,
Yeah.
they want some. And they run up to her, and we're like, get back here. And she's like, they can have some. And, like, dumps them in their hands and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And I'm just like, what do I do? Like, do I karate kick these out of my kids' hands? And
Right.
And like before we can do anything, they get them and they eat them, and I'm like, God damn it! Like I don't know what's going on there.
My
Oh,
kids
yeah.
just ate crack rocks.
I don't know where those came from. I don't know where. Like
Right.
I don't know anything about it.
2 tabs of
Yeah.
LSD, right?
Yeah, I felt like, what do I do? And she's like, do they want more? And I'm like, no, they're good. They're good. Like, no,
Right.
thank you. Like, and she's like, they can have more. And she was a really nice lady.
Yeah.
It's just like in general, even if you looked like a very upstanding citizen,
Right.
I still don't want my kids to eat out of
yeah.
what you're eating out of.
Right.
Right.
And just as an adult, you should pretty much understand that. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Don't give a kid open food. That should just
Right,
be a
but you don't know
general
her parameters. She might not be able to be within 100 feet of a school. So,
Right. So that
you
was
never
our best
know.
shot.
Yeah, so and it was just one of those situations where I'm like, God damn it, dude, like what the fuck, and my kids, they don't know any better. They
Right.
just saw snack, they just immediately like booked it towards this woman. They don't know her, and they're like, and I'm like, get back here, and they're like,
Right.
got him. Damn it. My oldest, so he's almost 7. He was like, she's like, do you want some? He's like, nope.
what the fuck?
I don't know you.
Right.
And I was like, well, at least one. My 3-year-olds, they have no idea.
Right.
They'll take anything from anybody.
Oh, yeah.
A guy could be walking down the street with a sucker in his mouth and pull it out and go, you want it? My kids would try to put it in their mouth.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't care. They're just,
They're like,
candy?
oh, what flavor?
Yep,
Let's
for
see."
sure. Yeah. I was like, God. And then I like started to understand why people put their kids on a leash.
Just yank them back.
I mean,
It's like
it's a useful tool.
when we were at the flea market this morning, we were walking down, like, you guys need a spritz, and she was like spraying people with like suntan lotion. We're like, no, I don't know what's in that.
You didn't get that?
No.
Oh, you missed out.
You always get the
Oh,
spritz.
dude, when I went last weekend, it was real nice.
She rubs it in and everything.
Oh, yeah. For an extra $10, dude. Boy, I'll tell you.
It's like, oh, you want me to rub the cheeks? You want me to put it on the cheeks?
What cheeks?
Your butt cheeks.
You got it, Grandma.
I wanted to go. I didn't go this morning, but I wanted to. But I didn't.
There wasn't
But I wanted
much
to.
there.
I mean, it was
It was small.
Yeah,
There was just a few dogs and some people.
that's it. There's no booth set up with anything. It's just some
There
dogs
was
and some
a-
people sitting.
Just 3 dogs and like
3
4
dogs and
people.
like, yeah. I mean, I think there was a 5th person
Did you
coming
buy?
in as we
Did
were
you buy
leaving.
any of the dogs?
I tried, and they're like, not for sale. I'm like, what
These
do
are
you have?
show
Then
dogs.
why are they at a flea market?
Right.
They have the fleas.
Did you go into the gun shop?
No.
Got some good stuff in there.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
guns? I saw a couple guns set about the tables and the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are cool.
Yeah.
They'll sell guns to whoever. Some of them down there are legit though. Like
Yeah.
they want like valid information. Like obviously they don't do background checks,
Right.
but like some of them won't sell unless you have a, CCW or whatever.
Oh, right.
But some of them down there, they don't care who you are. If you put the cash in front of them, they'll sell you. That's that kind of shit that needs to stop. We don't really
Right.
know that. Maybe we do. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be opposed to, because all it takes is a background check personally.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to check you out before I hand you this.
Right.
Whatever.
I mean, I think that should probably be the case.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect anybody. Anybody who can legally buy a gun, it wouldn't affect them anyways.
Right. I feel like a lot of the problem comes along with, like, there's gun trades that no one knows anything about. And it's just like, there's no trail, really. Do
Yeah.
you, like, license a gun to you? Or
I mean,
like-
no, not in the state of Ohio.
So it's
The
just
state
like,
of Ohio doesn't require that.
it's like, oh, I'm going to trade you this for that and that for this. But it's just like, anybody could get a gun.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the problem that I see, is that anybody.
Yeah.
Your business is your business. Do what you do. But the fear comes from guns being sold or traded that nobody sees. And nobody, that there's no... with
Nobody-
a car, you have
the
to
gun
transfer it.
the gun
you have to-
disappears. You have no
Right.
idea where that gun went. Yeah, and there's that kind of stuff. There's guns that, and the problem is like we're never gonna stop that from happening underground,
Right. For
just because of the fact that there's so many out there.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
so what you want to, like, what most people want to see stop is guns traveling from the hands of legal gun owners to the hands of illegal gun owners.
Right.
Because we're not going to ever stop the transfer of illegal owners to illegal owners.
Right.
There's
for
just too many of them. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But we
Like,
want to stop.
I have 7 guns.
We want to. We
no
want
one
to
knows
stop.
about.
We want to stop the
Now they
transfer
do.
of legally purchased, legally owned firearms to the hands of, you know, the
Right.
people who can't own them.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to stop. So that's why that,
Yeah.
you know, if you just did a quick little boop, bap, let me check this out. Hey, sorry, I can't sell you this gun.
Right.
And then he pulls out a gun and he robs you for that gun.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Duped me again. No, but like, yeah, that would definitely help. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't take much. I mean, sometimes it's expensive,
Right.
but
yeah, I mean,
it's worth it to stop.
if it like it doesn't even have to be anything major. Just having it, the exchange being notarized at a gun facility or
Yeah.
by an authorized person. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well,
You know, that stuff still, you know, being authorized, like titles and stuff. People are getting those stamped by whoever has a stamp. You know.
yeah, for sure. I mean, and to sell guns, like, to make actual sales of firearms, like, I'm going to sell you this. You're supposed to have an FFL to do that anyways,
Yeah.
to buy and purchase. And they're trying to work, like, there are a bunch of FFLs out there who are essentially not legit FFLs. They're
Yeah.
doing other shit, and they're cracking down on that. Like I said, the main goal is to stop legal gun owners accidentally releasing guns to people who shouldn't have them.
Right.
Because as much as they want to stop private sales, they can start now by saying, hey, this gun has to be registered, blah, blah, blah. You can't sell this gun to anybody else
Yeah.
unless it's done between a registered this and that and the other. And that's fine. They could stop that now
Yeah.
with all further purchases.
Right.
But that's not going to stop the interchange of the ones that have been purchased that have no direct ties to any person.
Right.
So they're not going to stop that. But what we do want to stop, and this is with legal gun owners and everything, legal gun owners also want to not put that gun into the hands of
Right. For
somebody
sure.
who doesn't need to have that gun.
Because it's like, I feel like a majority of them are to protect themselves against those people that have the guns illegally.
Yeah, and the thing is like, and a lot of people will think this, that like,
I feel like that
legal-
would be the only reason that I would ever get a gun.
well, people think that legal gun owners are just like wholeheartedly like, we're not changing anything, everything's cool, blah, blah, blah. Like, we understand, and we don't want this to happen either.
Right.
We also don't want these
sure.
guns getting into the wrong hands.
Like, this
That's,
conversation
you know,
turning into gun rights.
yeah, for sure.
Right.
But that's a huge thing, and
Yeah.
hopefully, eventually, everybody can come to common grounds with what we should be doing. And it's going to be a while because you have, you know, a bunch of people who are like, no, you can't touch any single thing on our thing.
Right.
You know, no rules can be changed at all, never. And then you have those people who are like, everything needs to change, take it all away.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
if
I
we
don't
could just
think
find
that
a happy,
everything needs
yeah,
to change.
if we could just find that happy medium, everybody would be happy. We'd all be good because
Right.
we all want the same thing: a safer
Yeah.
place, less random shootings by
Right.
people who shouldn't have had guns in the first place. We all want that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not a single, like, there might be because they're lunatics too, but there's not a single legit gun owner that thinks that mass shootings are cool. There's
Right,
not a
yeah.
single law-abiding citizen who thinks that guns in the wrong hands is cool. We
Right.
all want that because those gun people that go out and do the stupid shit, like mass shootings and all that stuff, put a bad name on the people who just want to protect themselves.
Right, for
Like,
sure.
and that's the thing. And once we find that medium ground, we'll all be happy. You know, everybody be like, cool, bang, bang, shoot them up, stay away from me, protect me if I need it, cool? And we
Right.
just go about our business.
Yeah.
But some people are dicks.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
pretty much.
I'm not in any of those crowds.
I would never be within 5 feet of a gun.
Me either.
I'm
I've
at
held a
least-
gun a
I'm at
couple
least
times.
like 6-7 feet away from
Like,
guns.
like, there's been people in my life that have been gun enthusiasts that are like, yeah, hold this gun.
Like,
Come
cool.
out and shoot with me. And I'm like, no thank you. Like, not that I don't think that it would be fun or anything like that.
You just don't
but
want to get addicted.
I don't trust myself with a loaded gun in my hand. Not that I'm going to hurt anybody on purpose or hurt myself on purpose or anything like that. But I feel like the amount that I drop anything or
I can't hold on to my glass of
anything,
milk long enough.
Like, I don't need an active firearm in my hand, let alone one that can do massive amounts of damage, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like,
And that's fine. You know, like if you feel like that, that's cool. But I got a blank firing gun if you ever want to do it without any damage.
yeah.
There you go.
You could have the noise and everything, just no
Like-
real damage.
Like I've said
could still hurt
before,
yourself,
I
but-
still have an air-powered BB gun. And it can do some damage, short distance, you know.
Hit him in the eye. Real
It'll
good.
hurt. It'll definitely penetrate
Right.
and be in you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely a deterrent, for sure.
Right. Like, I don't think I need anything stronger than that.
Well, if I was going to say for your home defense, if I can make a suggestion for your home
Right.
defense,
Like,
I
know
would
that
say
it's like whatever.
that you need to have something along the lines of like a Lord of the Ring, like elvish longbow. I think that would fit you well.
Yeah.
Like stand at the end of the
But the
hallway
thing
when they come
is-
through the door and just launch it at them.
Like, I've shot a bow, and that hurts. If you don't know how to do it right,
Yeah,
I'd
but
have to
you could
train.
practice. But like, could you imagine like a bow longer than you? Just like,
Like-
they come in and they're like, "What the fuck?"
right.
And you're just like, "Yeah, I'm an expert interior fucking
yeah.
marksman with my bow."
Like, Jen, whenever we were doing the foam fighting thing, Jen
Yeah.
shot a bow and had bruises from her.
Oh
like,
yeah,
up
if you
here
catch that
all the way
string, yeah,
down.
that's bad.
It's like, and she kept catching it.
I do have a crossbow if you want to mess with that.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Crossbows are scarier than like regular bows in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I used to build crossbows for a living, and
Yeah.
you know, we would have to test fire these bows after they were built, after they were on the assembly, and like I used to do test firing, and so many times I'd pull the trigger and the limbs would just come flying around, they'd snap, and like they're launching pieces all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible. I won't name the company that I used to work for, but if you know bows, you probably know which company.
You know bows? Not the audio system, the bow.
Right.
My truck has Sony.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Baller.
Sony sound system. Pretty dope.
My truck, I don't have a truck.
My truck? Yeah, it has things. I don't have a truck.
Excuse me. No. My car has a stereo that only has the AM, FM radio on it. No CD player.
Doesn't have a tape deck?
No. It has a CD player, but the CD player doesn't work.
Oh,
See, if it had a tape deck, you'd be in business.
right.
Get that little plug-in
Ooh.
thing.
I need one of those like tuner things that you can hook up Bluetooth to your phone.
The FM transmitter with the Bluetooth?
Right.
Oh, no. I was going to tell you I had one that you can use,
Yeah.
but it takes an auxiliary port.
Oh, okay.
It's not an AM, FM. It's an auxiliary port Bluetooth connection. So that won't help you if you don't have a tape deck. I know you don't have an auxiliary port.
No.
Uh,
Like, a while ago, I was looking at a CD players and stuff that had Bluetooth. And they're not very expensive, and you can get them to install it for you for pretty cheap.
yeah.
But I didn't do it.
You decided against it.
I mean, I can rock the radio. I kick it old school. You see this shirt I'm wearing?
You don't even listen to the channels on the radio that really like
I listen
go
to,
with that shirt.
I listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B.
I just realized, you know what you can do, though?
What's that?
You can get one of those Bluetooth, like, speakers.
Oh,
Just turn
okay.
your thing off and put the Bluetooth speaker in your back seat.
Hell yeah. I can get fucking Pills by Dre.
get one of those ones that light up. That way, the inside of your car is also a disco.
Hell yeah! I've always
That
wanted my
won't
car
draw
to be a
any
disco.
attention to you at night.
Right.
Just only
I put it
Only-
under the seat at night, so it's just like.
use the
Slightly
red and
flashing.
blue.
Oh,
lights.
right.
I do have one of those speakers that it lights up. It's about this big by this big. It looks like a DJ speaker but smaller.
Okay.
But it lights up, but it has the post. You can just put the whole post in there and mount this thing in the front seat, DJ style.
Right.
It'd be dope.
Right, and I could start throwing dance parties in my
Yeah.
03 Malibu.
Yeah, you could start doing Uber. Tell them that the window's hard to get down, and if they do get it down, they have to tape it back up before they get out.
Right.
It'll be dope.
That window being broken has definitely helped me out in multiple occasions.
Locking your
Crazy.
car.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean-
locked my keys in my car. It's like, oh, let's just cut the window down.
The worst is locking your keys out of your car when you're in it. It's so hot.
Right. And then I
Never
gotta
get out.
try to find something to cut the window down. But it's like you can only cut one side of the window down, so you gotta cut the one side and try to.
Pull the other side down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It's a process.
If you're rocking a taped up window like I am, you know the struggle.
Or if you see him
Leave it.
doing that in an 03 Malibu, don't call the police.
Hey.
He's not robbing that
It's my car.
he's
I
not
don't think
trying-
anybody would call the police if they seen an 03 Malibu getting broken into. I
Like-
just think
That guy is really
they're
desperate.
like, deserve it.
Right. Is there something good in there? Because it's not the car.
Is he after loose candies from that woman's car?
Right. Oh, man. It is the old lady's car, and I bought it from an old lady. She passed away. Rest in peace, Carol.
R.I.P. to the salad prep.
If you ever had a salad with cigarette ashes, it was probably Carol's fault.
Or a Band-Aid, tip of a rubber glove,
Right.
anything. Carol, you know you have no tips on the fingers of your gloves anymore. She's like, I'll get
Right.
new ones. Right. That's cool. And I want you
Oh,
to get
yeah.
new ones. But where did they go?
It's like the health department came through. They said that they caught you smoking in the kitchen again. Oh, well, they left now, right?
What blew my mind is to find out that she did not paint her nails off yellow.
No, they were just from smoking.
This is
Oh.
their cigarette.
There was a
color.
point in time that I started getting yellow tinges on my fingers, and I'm like, I'm smoking way.
So you switched to these two fingers?
Right. So I started using my right hand.
I don't look at that one as
I
much.
don't look at it. I switch back and forth now. It's even.
Right.
You got to get one of those like fancy
Right.
like cigarette holders.
Oh yeah. I used to rock that. Because I thought it was cool, or I thought that it made me different. You know, a lot of things I do. Is
And people
just
are like, that makes you a douchebag.
Right. You just look like a weirdo. Like, do men smoke cigarettes in those extended things?
Do they
like
have a male version of that? Because I
Right.
know like the super long ones that was for women.
Oh yeah.
You know, but did they have a male
Like-
shorter version?
Like the ones that I used were about this long, and you know it had no purpose.
Yeah, because you like it didn't do anything to protect you from anything you were getting from that cigarette.
Right.
And
It's
then
really
it was just more work. You had to pull it out of your pocket, put a cigarette in it, and
right, and it really all it did was make the cigarette more airy. Like I wasn't like I was smoking an ultralight cigarette. It's just like, well, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Because I was smoking Camel Wides at the time,
Oh, okay.
and it's like that's a real cigarette. Do they even sell those anymore?
I don't know.
Wides?
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. That Camel's has come up with a fuck ton of like types
Right.
of cigarettes.
Right.
I remember driving city to city to find Camel Crushes when they first came out.
I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like
I remember crushes.
nothing good can come from smoking Camel Crushes.
No,
Like
not
if
at
you're
all.
breaking up this ball of menthol or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Like-
But like when they first came out, like they were all the rage. You know, everybody
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to try them. Like you can turn a non-menthol cigarette into a menthol cigarette.
I
Dope.
like that there was an option of like bumming cigarettes off of somebody if they were smoking Camel Crushes.
You're like, oh,
I'm
you
like,
have either
hell
one.
yeah.
because you can have either one.
Right,
you know,
I can
like-
smoke a regular cigarette
Yeah.
amongst all these menthol cigarette
Yeah.
smokers.
So that part was cool, but the novelty of that wore off for me very
Right.
very quickly
Right.
when I realized that it wasn't good.
Yeah,
Like I don't like this.
right.
And
Like
So I switched to a real cigarette.
I feel like around that time is when
Don't
I
smoke,
was
kids, ever.
when I was a kid and I was starting to smoke, and I was experimenting all the different ways that I could smoke or consume nicotine, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I would smoke Black and Mild.
As you were a kid, you start doing
Phillies
stupid shit.
and
Yeah, you start smoking like cigars and stuff. Like, why the
Right.
fuck are I look back onto that and like we'd be smoking big ass cigars, and we're not smoking them like casually, like
Right.
in The Godfather. Like we're hitting them and inhaling and smoking them like they're cigarettes.
Getting nauseous
Dizzy,
as hell.
throwing up in the bushes.
And like why, like and it was the same type of thing. Like I did it because I wanted to be different from everybody else.
Right. It was like I was the only fucking kid walking around the park with a pipe, smoking.
And then you realize like nobody thinks you're different or cool. They all think you're an idiot.
It's like, why? You could be smoking fucking. So like what it was, everybody else at the time was smoking Newport Menthol 100.
Yep.
It was just like everybody I knew smoked menthol 100s. And it's like, cool, I'll try these menthol 100s. And then a few weeks later, cough up a little blood, and you're like, no, I don't think I'm gonna smoke these menthol 100s.
I used to smoke those Indian wrapped like leaf cigarettes with the like little string bow tie on them. And they came in like a real flat pack. I used to smoke those. I forget what they were called, but I used to smoke those. And strictly, like, I didn't even really like them. I just smoked them because like nobody else was smoking them.
Yeah, cloves. I remember there was just a small handful of people that were walking around with cloves in the park.
It's like, I could smell that from a mile away.
Right.
And I guess because I was so young, like it always looked like I was rolling around smoking a joint because it was a leaf rolled cigarette,
right.
And so it always looked like I was rolling around smoking a joint. Yeah. And I always thought it was so funny because I could roll around smoking this joint thing and the cops couldn't do anything because it wasn't weed, it was a cigarette.
Oh, right.
And then I realized I was underage, so they can still get me for smoking cigarettes.
Right.
Like, oh, wait, no, that's still illegal because I'm a kid.
But do they really do anything other than taking the cigarettes that
back
you
in the
have
day,
on
they used
you?
to be like they'd see us all the time, and they knew we were underage, and they didn't do anything about it. Nowadays, they probably would because there's a bigger fight against tobacco now than there was when we were kids.
Well, me as a responsible person didn't really start smoking until after I was 18.
Yeah, and me as a responsible person started smoking at a really young age too.
Yeah. I remember this responsible person buying me cigarettes when I was under 18.
Hey, don't say that.
Nobody did that.
If I had anything, literally, if I can go back in time though to my underage self when I was about to really smoke my first cigarette, like I would just smack the shit out of myself for trying that.
Oh, Could you imagine all the money you'd have saved?
Yeah, if right now I could put all the money that I've ever spent on cigarettes just into my bank account, like I'd be a pretty happy man.
I'd retire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's terrible because,
sorry.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna quit, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm smoking again. God damn it.
Right.
Like it's stupid.
I'm on the path to quitting. Like, I've made the mental note of, like, I need to stop this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the progression that it has to go for me. Like,
I mean,
I have
you
it in
have
my
to be
head that
ready.
I have to do it. So it's just like, I'm leading myself up to, like, okay. Like, I'm not setting a date on it.
Right.
But I'm putting it in my mind, like, I'm a non-smoker. You know what I'm saying?
You get
like,
to the point where
it's
you're
in
actually
there.
done.
Right.
But it's just like, eventually I'm going to be like, all right, this is it.
But not after this podcast.
Right. Not right now.
Because after this podcast, we're all going to go back to the green room and smoke cigarettes and stuff.
Right.
Which we say green room by the garage.
Right.
It's the adjacent garage.
The room.
Yeah.
Right over there.
You know, podcast room equivalent.
But if you're ever a guest on the show, we will enter the green room, and it's real nice in there.
Oh, yeah. We keep it plush.
Yeah, I didn't talk about millions of spiders in there on the last episode or anything.
They're assistants.
They're really friendly spiders.
They bring you what you need.
I mean, you don't get on their nerves. They won't get on your nerves. They won't get in your hair.
Speaking of that, we did have a somebody who wants to be a guest I said we would work everything out with them. I'll get in touch with them. We'll talk it over. But they want to be a guest. They just want to. They said they've been watching it and they subscribed and they've been. Okay. They have some stuff to talk about. So I said, hey, we'll talk it over and we'll try to get you in.
Hell yeah.
You know, our just to let everybody know, if you want to be a guest, you have to understand that our schedules are so crazy.
Whacked out.
They go all over the place. So, and that's why this season hasn't been as many guests as we wanted to. It's been, one? Have we had any this season? No, that was last season.
No, I think Zach was the second or third.
So, but it's just kind of, it's really hard to coincide 4 different schedules to hit at the right point to get everybody together. So, it's still going to happen. We're just trying to figure that out. So, if you message me about being a guest, sit tight. We'll get through with everybody and we'll figure that out.
It's going to take some time. We got to work some stuff out.
We'll get there. Don't hate us.
It's basically, keep an open mind on, scheduling because, our schedules might not sync up, the week that we try to get you in.
Yeah.
But,
things change.
Eventually
we're going to get you in there. And, we'll line up. And as soon as we can, we'll hit you up and it'll all work out. And
like Anthony almost wasn't even on this episode.
Almost wasn't on this episode.
It was going to be me, Jacob, and Yingling.
Yeah. Because I have 3 children and they all need babysitters and not individually. That would suck. I would never do a podcast if all my kids needed individual babysitters.
They all have individual needs that need to be taken care of.
So if you love this show and you're a responsible person who babysits, hit us up.
If you live in the Akron area or, at least in the 330 zip code.
Yeah. somewhere close. Because that would... Could you imagine? Like, hey, I'm a huge fan. I'd love to watch your kids so this can keep going.
I live in Denver, Colorado.
I'll mail them to you. I'll mail them to you, priority mail.
I think it'd be crazy if we had a listener or viewer that lived in Denver, Colorado. Like, how did you...
Do we have a viewer? Oh! Shenanigans. I got podcast noticed.
Yeah?
Yeah, at a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's funny because this lady, she was an elder lady. She was at a Taco Bell, and she was working there. And she said, "You look really familiar. What's your name?"
Oh, really?
And I responded with, because she was an older woman. I thought, so I responded with my government name.
Oh, right.
And she was like, "You look like somebody I know." She was like, thinking about it, and she was like, "Do you do an internet talk show with 2 other people?" And I was like, essentially, yes. Yes, I do.
Oh. Well, shout out to you.
She said, "You came up on a Facebook ad of mine, and I watched a couple of your videos." And it was funny because when we did that boost for that ad that we ran, the first one we ran, its target demographic that it, caught the most from was people in the ages 45 to 55.
Okay.
That's what it caught the most attention from. And she fit in that category. And I was like, well, at least it's working.
Right. So if you're over 50 and you're watching this, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments because and it was just funny though. She was like, "Do you do an internet talk show with 2 other people?" And I chuckled and I said, "Yeah, essentially.
Right.
I do a podcast on YouTube with 2." She was like, "That's what you look like." And she was like, "What is your name on there?" I was like, "I'm Twan," which is my name in general. I was like, the name I gave you was my government name. I don't go by that. But it was just funny because it was the first time that anybody had ever noticed me from the podcast that I didn't already know,
right? And
they have no idea who any of us are. And when she said, "Yeah, you came up on an ad on my Facebook, a while back ago," and I was just like, crazy.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well, at least the ad worked.
Oh right.
Oh
yeah. I don't know. I think we've boosted a couple of the episodes because I know that I boosted one of them. But either way, if you guys can tell your friends and everybody to subscribe, it'd be a bigger boost.
Yeah, just share stuff. Put us out there. Do that kind of stuff.
That's one thing that I think that you guys really need to help us out. Share it.
Yeah, just share anything.
Like,
All of
cause
it.
it's like I post stuff up and it's just like, oh, this was shared. It's like, cool. Jacob shared it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, Anthony shared it? Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he's got more outreach than I do.
yeah, so let's do that. I still right now need to better that myself, but like
Yeah.
if anything, share anything. Share our Instagram post, share our
Right.
Facebook post, our Facebook page, YouTube page.
Right.
The website's kind of dead right now because it's I'm trying to get a real good solid sit down with somebody who is more appropriate at website building than I am,
Oh, right.
or at least is familiar with the program that I use to try to run this thing.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Get off my back, jeez.
Come on, guys. Settle down. Yeah, I mean, I try to post up stuff on our social medias, and I mean, honestly, I don't post, but whenever it comes out.
What I always forget about though is that like Jake and I both also have control of the Facebook page.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
I
have
forget about
complete
that.
control.
Yeah, we're so used to they were all done from your computer. Like I forget,
Oh,
and
right.
then I'll go on, and like I forget that it was like, oh, if I post on here, it's posting as the page, not as me posting to
yeah.
the page, and I always forget that, and I'm
Right.
like, fuck, I can get on there too and do what I need to do.
Right.
Stupid.
I mean, so.
Yeah, so it's all of our faults collectively if you don't
Right.
see anything, but we're gonna start putting stuff up.
So if
and
you
you're gonna
want to
share.
be editor of our page, leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, leave it in the comment. If you want to be our PR,
Right. If you understand social medias better than we do, because we don't.
we're not the greatest at it.
No.
We just told you we're old.
Right. Can you believe I'm 82 this year?
Yes.
I was hoping that went in that cup over there.
That would have been sweet. That would have been
Yeah.
like a dude perfect. And I
Yeah.
would have said, dude.
Perfect, dude.
Perfect.
Are we allowed to say that?
We can say whatever we want.
Fuck the man.
What are they going to take take away our money?
Like,
Right.
I record this podcast with the intention to say whatever I want to say.
Whatever the
And if you're offended, I'm sorry I didn't mean it that way.
I
But I
apologize.
really did.
If you're
Like-
offended, I apologize.
Like, I'm really, like, this is my Stephen Pluck official apology video for Saturday on Sunday. I'm sorry what I did offended you. I didn't understand what I was saying.
You just copy and paste that
Right.
for whatever situation you might be
whatever
in.
situation.
Uh,
Like, I don't do anything too bad. Like, it's just questionable things every once in a while.
Right.
sometimes
And
it happens.
If you took offense to it, like, honestly, I probably didn't mean it that
Yeah.
way.
Probably. He can barely form full sentences all the time anyway, so
Right.
you can't take everything.
You gotta take it with a grain of salt
Uh,
every time.
but not your eyeball.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it stings a little.
Only hot sauce goes in there.
Where do you put the grain of salt when you take it with it?
You should have a breast pocket. If you
Because-
don't
like-
have it,
like-
then probably up in your upper lip.
You know that little pocket that's on your jeans?
Oh
That-
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
That's
that's
for your-
for.
that's a
that's
salt
for-
grain?
Yeah, just for single
Uh,
grain
A
of salt.
grain of salt.
Could you imagine if you took everything with a grain of salt, how much salt you would have at the end of the day?
You'd
I
save
take-
so much money on salt.
I take most of my shots with a grain of salt.
Tequila. I don't do
Oh
that.
boy,
Tequila's upsetting.
I don't.
I'm
really
just kidding. I really like tequila, but I don't do that whole fucking salt, lime, lick yourself, lick your neighbor, whatever you do.
I try not to lick my neighbors.
I don't do all that. I just take the shot.
Right.
So I don't talk to my neighbors, but I do lick my neighbors. So
Hey, I'm about to do tequila. Come over here for a second. Don't do that. Don't lick your neighbors.
Don't
do
lick your-
tequila.
I mean, depends on what your neighbors are into and what you're into.
they may like it.
Yeah,
You
get
might like it.
get
Ask for
appropriate.
consent.
Yeah, get
first.
appropriate consent before licking
Right.
your neighbors.
Everything-
We're doing shots.
Like I'm not that trying to be that guy.
All right, so I'm gonna get up and leave now.
But did you hear that they were trying to shut down the Sleeping Beauty ride or alter the Sleeping Beauty ride because
of the kiss.
Because of the kiss.
At the end, I mean, shoot. I don't think she didn't seem very. I don't know. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna go into there. But
So that seems like a good time to end the episode.
yeah. So before you kiss somebody that's asleep, make sure they want that to happen.
And remember, what I say, I didn't mean it that way. Don't be offended, please.
Oh, man.
Well, you know, tell your friends. Hey,
Sounds so somber.
tell your friends and your family and your family's friends and tell your friend's family to subscribe to the Saturday on Sunday podcast on YouTube. I'm Steven.
I'm Twan.
I'm Jake.
Don't buy truck chicken. Go on a roller coaster that doesn't work, that doesn't have anybody kissing anybody else. Do whatever you want to. Just make sure you come back next time. Wow. Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace. It's a peace. Drop the peace.
It's a Saturday on Sunday!
Saturday on Sunday, yes. We're in a cold dungeon. Slight breeze is coming through.
Is this the Chamber of Secrets? You guys have any secrets?
Oh man, this is where I keep all my secrets.